How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Something really important just got banned. I also want to talk about something big that's happening with Elon Musk and something that I didn't realize when it comes to Bitcoin. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. This is going to be more oriented on the entire market. There's a lot that we have to cover, like across various sectors today, but I would stay through to the end because it is all very important. Also, there are going to be links underneath the video in case you want to start trading cryptocurrency. You can trade over on Margex. There, you can set it up in just a few seconds. You don't have to KYC, so you can just set it up, deposit some on the platform, and you can also get a fee bonus or a deposit bonus that can be used towards fees with the link underneath the video. This isn't right for everyone, but I have been placing some longs and they've been really printing money recently. There's also a link to Blowfin as well. They have some other cryptocurrencies, some meme coins, and they also allow you to trade spot. So you can use this link underneath the video as well. For example, I bought Gummy recently, and this is one of the only places that you can buy it. So check out the link underneath the video to Blowfin as well. Let's take a look at the market. As you can see, Bitcoin's down just slightly from where it hit earlier, hitting 67.2. Now it's down to 66.5, 66.6. But we do have something really interesting that happened recently. I covered this when it happened, but you can see that the funding rate, the perpetual funding rate, went negative. What does this mean? Well, I covered in past videos. Believe me, I'm getting to something here. But I covered in past videos, this means basically shorts are paying to stay short. They are paying the longs. Now, something that I did not realize is this happened about the same time that the put to call ratio spiked. What does this mean? Well, the put to call ratio shows you how many puts versus how many calls are bought. So if you buy a put in the stock market, you think that the market is going to fall down, or that this asset that you're buying the put on is going to fall down. If you buy a call, you think it's going to go up. So when the put to call ratio goes above 1, that means that there are more puts bought than calls. And what's interesting too is typically this is lower than 1. Why is that? Well, the stock market usually goes up. So it would be weird if there are always equal puts and calls being bought, because the stock market usually goes up. There should be more calls bought than puts. You can see the average is right around like 0.7, somewhere around there for the last year and a half. But as you can see, just recently, like a week ago, there was a 1.13 put to call ratio on this day. Now, that's quite extreme. This was a very bearish day, April 17. Let's see where Bitcoin was at that same time. April 17, Bitcoin had just fallen. You can see it had fallen down to 59,000. Okay, that was around the same day that we saw the perpetual funding rates turn negative. And I covered this in the last video where I talked about this. Talked about the perpetual funding rates, but when we see funding rates go negative, that's typically a good time to go long. That's when a lot of people are bearish. If you remember, a lot of people were bearish, and it wasn't just Bitcoin. It wasn't just crypto. I just didn't realize that the put to call ratio spiked as well. So the whole market turned bearish. That's when you want to go bullish. This is something that I'm going to be paying a little bit more attention to moving forward, this equity put to call ratio. But I did say around this time that the funding rate had turned negative and I was going to go long. And I actually went long on Solana around this time. Right around here, you can see it was actually, I think, right around the 14th or 15th that I went long. But you can see the 17th, Solana was down to about 127. Now it's at 157. Of course, we could always fall down again, but this is a good indicator for when you might want to go long in the market or when you might want dollar cost average, especially if we are at key resistance here, like if we flip that into support. So I'm going to be paying attention to this, but it's really interesting how bearish the market got. Now, it's flipped back almost. I mean, people are pretty bullish now with a 0.57 as of yesterday. So be careful, right? If we get too many of these days in a row, maybe you want to be a little bit careful. If the funding rate spikes up and people are paying insane amounts, it can actually cause the market to go up because people are going long, but it could be indicative that there is some kind of fall coming in the future because whales want to shake out those long positions and then they can buy back in for cheaper. Now, I want to cover a couple big things that just happened. One thing from Elon Musk, just something that's really fascinating, but then something that was banned that really changes all of our lives, and it's something financial related. But first, I want to talk about Mazu Finance. Now, one cryptocurrency that I'm watching is Mazu Finance. So Mazu Finance allows you to get exposure to yields and airdrops within the SUI DeFi ecosystem. SUI's been blowing up over the last year or two. And by holding the Mazu token, you can indirectly participate in the growth and success of the entire SUI DeFi landscape in a simple and efficient way. So let's start somewhere. Marketing, right? Marketing, more people hear about it, raising token price, higher prices attract more activity, users and volume, which means more volume. They have a buy and sell tax that will generate tax for the DAO treasury. An increase in TVL, more funds in the DAO treasury from the token tax will increase more yield because they're going to go put it into different lower risk ways of generating yield, such as liquid staking, lending, borrowing. The yields generated this will go to buy back the token. So high revenues in the DAO means more buyback and burn, which means reducing supply, boosting the token value, which means a rising token price, which means higher prices that attract more users. Now, they really break this down well on their Twitter page, but you can also go listen to a Twitter Spaces or an X Spaces if you want to dive a little bit deeper. They are a partner of the channel, so I'm going to leave links to them underneath the video. They're really focusing on this cycle of prosperity, this kind of loop. Their token generation event is planned for this quarter, but be on the lookout for them. So you can go follow them on Twitter or X and even join their Zeely campaign if you want to stay more up to date with them. And they are a partner of the channel, so always do your own research, but I'll leave links to them underneath. Okay, Elon Musk just posted about this. The Model 3 is quicker than a Porsche 911. Tesla announced today that their 0 to 60 time for the Model 3 is 2.9 seconds, that they have 510 horsepower, 163 mile per hour top speed. They just announced a bunch of information about the Model 3. Now, this isn't supposed to be me really talking about Tesla. I just noticed something interesting from Elon Musk. He posted about Tesla a few days ago as well. Honestly, it will be hard for me to find it because he posts so much on X. But he's posted multiple times about Tesla in the last few days. Now, up until this point, I think it had been weeks, maybe longer, since he posted about Tesla. Like, he has not posted about Tesla very much. But now he's posting a lot more. The post before this was talking about the Model Y and how it's actually cheaper than $30,000 when you account for gas and tax credits. Now he's posting how fast the Model 3 is. Maybe this is going to help their sales out, because I mean, this got 10 million views in 3 hours. His last post got 20 million views in like 24 hours. So I would not be surprised if this is going to help boost their performance. They have earnings later today. Who knows what happens with their stock short term, but it is interesting to see him start to post more about Tesla. And the stock has been beaten down. It's down to $145, $150. This is after being at $260 less than a year ago. So maybe something you want to pay attention to. Just kind of fascinating to see this. And, you know, the cars are fantastic too, obviously, and pretty cheap, much cheaper than most people think. Okay, so the FTC just voted to ban non-compete agreements. This is big news, and it affects a lot of people, so I want to cover it. Now, to be clear, this is still a work in progress. So the FTC did vote 3-2 Tuesday to ban non-compete agreements that prevent tens of millions of people from working for competitors. They say 18% of the U.S. workforce is covered by non-competes. So it says the final rule would ban new non-compete agreements for all workers and require companies to let current and past employees know that they won't enforce them. They talk about how unfair it is. Basically, people are forced to move to other sectors or move homes to work for someone else. They say the new rule is slated to go into effect 120 days after it's published in the Federal Register. But its future is uncertain, as pro-business groups opposing the rule are expected to take legal action to block its implementation. They say business groups say non-compete agreements are critical for protecting proprietary information and intellectual property. Although the rule would not ban other methods for protecting that information, including non-disclosure and confidentiality agreements. They also question the agency's authority to issue the blanket retroactive ban. Congress has not given the agency explicit authority to ban non-competes, although there have been several bipartisan bills introduced to reform non-compete agreements. So, the largest pro-business lobbying group in the country said that it will sue to block the rule, while the dissenting commissioners said that they did not support non-compete agreements carte blanche. They did not want to believe the agency had the authority to issue the rule without an express directive from Congress. So this is still kind of up in the air, but the FTC did vote to ban non-competes. Obviously, this might go to Congress and it might be lengthy, but this is pretty big news, and I wanted to cover it on the channel. Of course, we're going to have to cover this in the future as well because it's not a done deal as in this is going to go through, but it is a good step in the right direction, I think, if you are someone that wants to ban these. Now, I think generally it would be nice to kind of open this up, but I could always be wrong. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. And you can check out the links underneath the video as well to Margex, to Blowfin, CoinW, etc. Definitely check out Mazu as well. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.